as probably a lot of you know in the addiction world, we're trained, especially early on and years ago, to be very confrontative in a way with our clients, where like we need to hold the mirror up, we need to break through the denial, and that unfortunately doesn't really work. And to be honest, when I changed careers when I had actually gotten sober after 2 years, decided to kind of check this field out and see what happens, and went back to school, and it didn't sit right with me. To be honest, when I was being trained to do that, to keep challenging, and yet I did understand there's this whole denial piece, but something wasn't really working for me. And I have to say, IFS has been, the Enneagram was really helpful and set things up for us to do it a little differently, but IFS has been a total game changer. And something that CEASE has taught us, we did all 3 levels of training. Like, we are in for the long haul. Like, we are totally 100% in, both at HighWatch and Alina Lodge. And so we had the entire HighWatch team trained in levels 1, 2, and 3 over the course of about a year and a half, I think it was, CEASE, almost 2 years. And we're starting over again with level 1 and including the Alina Lodge family as well. And so what we're seeing is, and what CEASE, one of the things she taught us that was worth its weight in gold, was this idea of, when we're looking at our guests, we call them guests at HighWatch and Alina, and they are, let's say, wanting to leave treatment early, or really, like, it really wasn't that bad, like struggling with the disease, or their firefighters really kicking in, we tend to want to confront that. And so, like, our manager is basically confronting their firefighter, and what do we have? We have a polarization, and we don't get anywhere. And so CEASE's technique is do the U-turn first to yourself as the therapist or the staff member, to find out what's going on inside of you and get connected with self-energy. But more importantly, the U-turn to find the client or the guest's manager, right? If we can get their manager on board, then that will do the work, right? Rather than us trying to convince them. And so really validating the firefighters first, or what's showing up, like listening. We're not condoning or necessarily agreeing, but validating with what they're experiencing, and then really trying to see if there's even just a small part of them that sees it differently or feels differently. And once we get that little chink in the armor, so to speak, it just opens everything up. It has been a complete game changer. And I know we'll probably talk more about these things, but the one thing I want to say, for me personally and professionally, was this whole concept of self. How, I mean, I could cry, how profound that has been. And on the first day of the IFS workshop, one of the things Margaret Conley said, that I wrote it down about 100 times. I keep writing it, but it was so profound. She said, the heart behind our hearts. She was doing a meditation to look for the heart behind our hearts, and that, like the heart, capital H, I would say, that's the heart that holds our parts. And I just, something about that rang so true to me, and this idea of, it's inside of us, right? And our 12-step literature tells us that, like, that's only where it can be found at the end of the day. And so it's so compatible with 12-step, and without ever mentioning even the word God or the God of your own understanding. It's just this idea of something really big that's connected to everyone's self, whether it's, even for me, not just people, but trees and animals and the universe, and it can be God too. And it's like, whatever works for the person. So that has given our staff and our guests permission, really, for the God of their own understanding, or whatever spirituality. And it's just been really beautiful to witness.